Any new developments? Have you heard anything new from police?
No, today's been 12 days since we've last heard from her and since her phone has gone dead. And now it's just kind of a waiting game.
We begin tonight with breaking news in the case of a missing woman from Maui who vanished at LAX, and a tragic development tonight, even as that woman remains missing. I'm Jory Rand.
I'm Michelle Fisher. There is still no sign of that young lady, but the search has taken a heartbreaking turn for her family.
To a major new development in a missing persons investigation that we've been following for the last week. The father of a missing woman from Hawaii found dead near LAX from an apparent suicide. Our Tracy Leong has more details from police.
This is a tragic update to a story we've been covering for more than a week. As the search continues for the missing woman from Maui, LAPD confirmed that her father died after jumping from a building near LAX this morning, which is less than a mile from where we're standing.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear. Thoughts build up until I can't feel. My mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear.
Hello and welcome to True Crime Rocket Science, the most authentic voice in true crime. A 30-year-old woman, a budding photographer from Hawaii, has been missing since November 11th. That's more than 2 weeks now. After mysterious goings-on with her phone, her father flew in to search for his daughter. And then, as you've heard, he has recently been found deceased as well. What is going on? Before we get to that, if you're new to this channel, I'm an author of a lot of true crime books. I've dealt with many missing persons cases, including Madeleine McCann, Gabby Petito, certainly started off as a missing persons case, Kylie Rodney, and so the list goes on. You can find my books on Amazon. If you find this analysis worthwhile, please like, share, leave a comment. You can also hit the thanks button, and let's get started.
She missed her connecting flight at LAX, and that's where the rest of the story gets a little bit fuzzy. The family tracked her last known movements to an area near Crypto.com Arena. NBC4's Darsha Phillips joins us with more. Darsha?
Yeah, Colleen, the family of Hannah Kobayashi has been doing a lot of their own legwork. They say they've obtained surveillance footage that shows Hannah leaving a metro station 2 blocks away from here on Monday, November 11th.
So in the lead up to Hannah's disappearance, a few strange things occur. According to the LA Times, quote, Hannah landed at LAX but missed her next flight, appearing instead to visit the Grove Shopping Center, where she went to a Nike event November 10th, her family told USA Today. Now, that is possibly where someone encountered her, or she encountered someone. The next day, November 11th, Kobayashi apparently went back to LAX but didn't board a flight. Later that day, she sent her family what it called strange text messages. Now, I think her going back to LAX indicates intent, that she intended to board a flight and was somehow lured away. Of course, it's possible that she went to LAX to perhaps cancel the flight, but I think it's more likely that she was misled in some way, or perhaps while changing terminals or on the way to the terminal ran into an unsavory character. And now I want to bring up 3 or 4 points that I think provide a little bit of insight, additional insight into this case. Number 1, her phone went dead. I think there's a very strong likelihood, unfortunately, that Hannah isn't just missing, but murdered. Often, we see this again and again in true crime, when a phone goes silent and stays silent, it often means the owner is no longer alive. According to NBC Los Angeles, quote, all calls that day, that's the day that she went missing, November 11th, went straight to voicemail. The family has not heard from her since. Now, the fact that she indicated in text that she was afraid and someone seemed to be following her is even more cause for concern. Number 2, staged texts. According to People magazine, Hannah sent the following text. I think someone's trying to steal my identity. I'm really scared. Hannah's last pin location was at LAX around 4 p.m. local time on November 11. That's what Pigeon, her aunt, I think, told People. That day, the family got a confirmed sighting of Hannah and this is important, an unidentified person getting on the train. So she seemed to be accompanied by someone, a stranger, but she hasn't been seen since, reportedly exiting at Pico Station. Then, according to KTLA, quote, strange cryptic messages, things about the Matrix. It was so unlike her, meaning to talk about things like that. And then all of a sudden, no more communication. Rolling Stone quoted a few of those texts as follows. This was apparently what Hannah texted one friend. Deep hackers wiped my identity, stole all my funds, and have had me on a mindfuck since Friday. Now, I think this is not only a staged text, this particular one, but a text meant to implicate some obscure online scammers, rather than someone Hannah encountered directly and in person. In other words, they want to try and put you off the trail onto a false trail. Then in another message, according to Rolling Stone, Hannah apparently texted, I got tricked pretty much into giving away all my funds from someone I thought I loved. And that is, again, according to friends and family, some of the language used in the text messages they felt didn't actually sound like Hannah. All of this has kind of got an ominous ring to it. This is also potentially a staged text meant to throw investigators off the actual track. Do you agree? If Hannah did transfer funds into an account, the perpetrator shouldn't be that hard to catch. On the other hand, if she withdrew cash at an ATM under duress or Venmo'd it to a shady account, that might be harder to track and trace. Now, is there any evidence of that? Well, according to the LA Times, quote, Hannah's last message to us was alarming. She mentioned feeling scared and that someone might be trying to steal her money and identity. Now, that particular text probably is legit. And then she hasn't been heard from since, and we are gravely concerned for her safety. Kobayashi also texted a friend that someone might be trying to steal her identity and money. That's something her father told KABC TV. And her father obviously went there, searched for her for around about 2 weeks, and then seemed to be overcome by despair when he couldn't find her. Kobayashi's aunt, Laura Pigeon, told KABC that her niece was planning to attend an event in New York. That brings us to number 3. Is there a financial motive here? Well, that seems obvious, right? A financial motive above anything else. Over the next couple of days, Hannah was spotted at a Los Angeles mall and reportedly, this is also important, sent Venmo payments to 2 unknown people. The last day anybody heard from Hannah was November 11th. Her mother texted her to ask if she'd made it to New York, and Hannah replied, no. Now, one wonders whether that text was from Hannah or not. Probably was. Number 4, father's death is apparently not suspicious. Now, although the headline reads from the Daily Beast falls, it's more realistic that tragically, and out of, I think, teeth-grinding frustration and despair, Ryan jumped. One's really got to feel for the family in this situation. You know, other family members have now lost the father, and who knows what has happened to Hannah herself. Kobayashi died after he jumped off a parking structure at 6151 West Century Boulevard, a business near LAX, sometime around 4 a.m. on Sunday, police confirmed. I've actually myself landed at LAX. It's quite a large complex. Now, according to a family statement, after tirelessly searching throughout Los Angeles for 13 days, Hannah's father, Ryan, tragically took his own life. This loss has compounded the family's suffering immeasurably. According to KTLA and NBC Los Angeles, Hannah was last seen wearing black leggings, a tie-dye sweatshirt, and a green backpack. Hannah is described as 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing about 140 pounds, and has brown hair and eyes and fair skin with freckles. Any information regarding her whereabouts should be reported to LAPD. Well, I'm not going to take it further than that. Our hearts are certainly with her family at this time. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.